I had nude photographs sent around of me in high school. They were really good.
I mean, these titties, they're going to look great.
He was covering his penis with my Cards Against Humanity game. I was the fun house. Now I'm the restraining order house.
I'm Jenny Lynn.
And I'm Jen.
And we're in high conflict hell. If you know, you know. But let's make sure
you're in the right place.
You're in the right place. You might be in the right place if you've had a protection order filed against you.
You're in the right place if you feel like every time you turn around, there's something new you're being served with.
You're in the right place if you filed a protection order against someone. You're in the right place if your health provider emailed you saying your stress levels seem a little elevated lately.
Hey,
is everything okay?
You're in the right place if you had to go schedule therapy for the first time in years.
Well, we hope you're not in the right place, but if you are, I'm glad you found us.
And we are now not just in the top
10% of new podcasts.
We're in the top 25% for podcasts. Just podcasts, you guys, all podcasts. So what we need you to do, if you have not already, if you go into Spotify.
Please. And thank you.
Wow, look at, she's doing so good.
I apologize for not asking nicely before.
There's an episode about this. So if you go into the High Conflict Hell podcast on Spotify, there is 3 little dots. You want to click those and you want to follow the podcast. There's also a little star that says rate podcast. Please go give us 5 stars if you're willing. If not, please send us that constructive criticism into our email address. And then if you go to Apple Podcast, go find High Conflict Hell there. And there is 3 little dots in the top right corner. And you are going to go ahead and click follow podcast and then give that 5 stars too.
It would just really help us out.
Really helpful.
And we appreciate the fact that everyone is here listening and following because, like I've said before, this isn't my journey. This isn't Jen's journey. This is all of our journeys. Mm-hmm. This journey is happening all over the country, all over the world. And I think the thought behind this for me is bringing to light the problem.
Yeah.
Just shining a light on it. And we hope we do it in a way that's at least a little bit fun and entertaining and makes you laugh along the way because we're trying to laugh along the way.
Crying.
But we're also crying along the way. And even if we're not crying on here, we're crying to each other behind closed doors.
Or outside on my front porch.
So just keep that in mind when we're talking about these really serious court things. These are our lives and we realize this is your life too. Mm-hmm. And this is not funny at all. This is the state of the system.
We're just hilarious. So
we just can't help but be funny as shit.
So 2 things about that is one is that what we've learned is that this is a worldwide problem, but specifically the UK, Ireland, and Australia, along with us in the US, are dealing with very, very similar problems in the family court system.
Leaning heavily towards a 50-50 split and
diminishing abuse.
Yeah, diminishing abuse. And that specifically men in the court system are giving just a lot of deference right now. Yeah. And that has to do a lot with because men tend to be the abusers.
The pendulum has swung.
Absolutely. And I saw something the other day that was, I think it was a TikTok. And this woman was talking about how it's so weird because as women, right, all of our lives, we're told, don't walk alone at night. Hold your keys between your fingertips in case someone does. Use the buddy system, how to escape out of a trunk if you're trapped in it. I can remember as a kid, actually, like...
That's why that safety mechanism was implemented.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden we get into a courtroom and even on our TikTok, we get comments a lot with men being like, women are the abusers too. Okay. Men, are you being taught to walk with the keys between your fingers? Mm-hmm. Are you being taught that the worst thing that can happen to you on a first date is spilling food down your shirt, or is it being raped and drugged? Mm-hmm. Because has happened to a lot of us.
Yeah.
So we can say all we want on a short form video on TikTok or in a courtroom, but women abuse too. Okay, let's just think about reality. Mm-hmm. Let's think about how this actually looks when we're raising our daughters, when we're talking about these subjects. So I'm not saying that women aren't abusers.
Yes, we know. We know that. I grew up in the home where the abuser in my home was a woman.
Yep.
I also know how she got there. And it is very scary and very dark. So
Well,
women can
okay.
abuse. Yes.
Oh, we are fully aware that different situations happen all over the world, depending on the home, the structure of the family, whether you're in the same sex marriage, you know.
But
both
widely.
Yeah, but widely. And this happens to just be our personal experience. So if it's not yours, and maybe you can relate to one role or the other, then just do that in your head. Okay, people?
And actually, we have a lot of men that come to us that are not like, hey, that women do this too, that are like, hey, I am experiencing this. This is what I've learned. And it's reversed to us. So the people that aren't offended by it, that hear it for what we're just really trying to say, are taking our
role.
personal stories
Yeah.
out of it and understanding what we're saying.
Which we've talked about before on here, is that we don't use anyone's names because I'm everyone, Jen's everyone, ex-wife is everyone, ex-husband, ex-homer is everyone. There's a lot of people out there who look for relationships to secure a home. That ex parte, my ex-husband, is everyone. There's a lot of men that use the court system threatening to file repeat
It's a fun
motions,
thing to do.
using the police to try and coercively control. And none of this is legal advice. By the way, we're going to be talking about the system in a variety of ways. We're just talking. Join us. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh,
In
actually.
the court.
So law enforcement.
Okay.
My mom has a history with law enforcement.
Okay. Hey, Grandma.
And she used to carry around a police scanner. And nobody understands that unless you do. If you understand people that have police scanners with them, like that will totally resonate with you. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this,
I'm not. Explain it to me.
there are people in the world that will just keep a police scanner with them all the time. And so my mom never outgrew that when she stopped doing things that would require that you have a police scanner with you all the time.
You can know if they're like coming toward your door, someone's reported you.
So I dated a cop for a little while, a sheriff, and he was really cool, but he would come, he had his like
Dated or
yeah, well, whatever you want to call it. And he had his like area, his region, I don't know the technical terms, but reassigned
Zone.
to where I
cop zone.
lived.
I don't know what it's called either.
Neither. So he would come stay at my house during his shift so that he'd be there if there was a call that came in. What I thought was really funny is that on the 4th of July, like the calls just come in and come in. So he was at my house on 4th of July and it just goes off. And he was like, I'm sorry, that must really irritate you. And I was like, actually, this feels like home. And like, and they just don't even like respond to noise complaints or firework complaints or anything. So
Bedtime story right
know.
now. Can you tuck me in, officer?
he's
tuck
a good,
me
he's a
in.
good guy. My mom wasn't fun all the time. So when she's funny,
Oh, your mom is fun.
hilarious. Everybody says that. Like everyone loves to be around my mom. She's hilarious until you're the butt of her joke.
Yeah,
And then it's not fun because she's mean.
Yeah.
My mom is a liar. We've talked about this too, and she knows it. Actually, my brother was at my parents' house this last week, and they were helping my dad do drywall. And my brother on the phone with me was like, and Jen, you shouldn't be doing any drywall patching on your own. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, we found this hole in the wall the other day that mom said that you did, and you tried to patch up. And I'm like, I will admit to all the things I did in the house. One of them was I used to burn the carpet in my bedroom because I thought it was super fun with hairspray and a lighter.
That sounds fun.
I never put a hole in the wall though. I'm like, she fucking made that up. But she's trying to make me out to, and if I was going to patch a drywall hole, I would have done it
That's
right.
what we call a white lie. That's like, oops, I put a hole in the wall and I'm just going to blame Jen.
We joke with my mom when we catch her in a lie that she's just painting the house. Sometimes she'll be busy and she's like, we're like, oh, were you just painting
Why
the
did
house?
she say that once? That she was like painting the house?
And it like turned into this big joke. Now we
Yeah.
all tease her. Painting the house purple usually or vacuuming.
We have a joke like that in our house
What
too.
is it?
It's were you at a movie with the cop?
I was.
That's literally the joke, because whenever we went to the movies as a kid, there'd be posters for new and upcoming movies coming out, and my dad would always be like, "Oh, I saw that movie. I saw that movie."
And it's new and upcoming.
And it's new and upcoming. So I'd be like, yeah, right, Dad. And then at one point, of course, he like made a statement that he's like friends with all these police officers. We're like, no, you're not. And so when this happened, we were all like, oh, who'd you see it with? Your cop friend? And still to
That's-
this day, whenever we know someone's lying, we'll be like, oh, were you at the movies with the cop?
That's
Like,
funny.
It's kind of funny when you think about those stories that like
Yeah.
you just say a line in your house. Like, are you painting the house?
Painting
Or
the house
are you
purple.
at the movies with the cop? and everyone in the room knows what you're talking about. And then on the other side, everyone who's not in on the joke is like, what does that mean?
Well, your house is purple?
Yeah, what does she like to paint? Your dad goes to the movies with a cop?
Cops get early access to movies? Anyway, so law enforcement, been a big part of my life for a long time.
Right?
In different ways, apparently. Okay, so you've recently been threatened with court action.
Oh, God. It's like a Tuesday for me.
Genuine, let's hear it.
A few weeks ago, I was threatened with 2 court hearings in 1 week by my ex-husband. And that's how he got the nickname Ex Parte.
And surprise, it's not a party.
Not a party. So the first one I talked about regarding the vacation, the midwinter break. So the second one that I got 2 days later, okay, started off regarding my son and his grades. And then it acknowledges that the trip that I'm going on to Tahiti. And as far as your trip goes, I feel like you're bullying me into saying yes when you haven't even asked me. I would never do that to you. I would have asked with a please and a thank you, which, by the way, he doesn't.
No.
And I don't need. So the reason I would like first pick this summer is because his sister is getting married at some point and he would like to go back for the week and not have a conflict with me. Which, if he wants to take the kids to his sister's wedding, I would never say no to. I've actually never said no to any request outside
Just give me the date
of extra time, ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not been a
This
thing.
isn't even a first pick, second pick thing. This
Nope.
is like totally give me
It's
the
a
date.
life event.
Right.
We don't have this provided for in our parenting plan. Just tell me and the kids can go. So I don't care. If it turns out she doesn't get married, I don't need the first pick. Really, you should ask me nicely because all you're doing is building a case of custodial interference. Remember the 3 times I filed police reports and the other times that I documented. I'm actually trying to be nice about all of this. But for some reason, you feel that you can do what you want with no regard for anyone else. Okay. So now he's threatening to take me to court for custodial interference for my 15-year-old.
But
son.
okay, hold on. So he says, I have this option. I can do this, but I don't want to. But remember all the times that I have, so know that I will. So watch yourself. Also, I want to take my kids to a wedding, which you've never created conflict for him to take kids to do anything like that with.
No,
but
no.
yeah, totally. Take them.
Oh, I replied and I said to him, if your sister's getting married, no please and thank you required. Just give me the dates and the kids will go. Care.
I'm also, this is not relevant to court abuse, but why is he maybe concerned that his sister might not get married? That's weird. That's weird to me.
I got a lot to say about that, actually, and I won't. But his sister is in her 50s and she's never been married. And so,
And they're not 10 months apart.
they're not 10 months apart. But I won't be surprised if they don't get married.
It was like an interesting thing
But
to
they
add
are
into there.
engaged, and it
Good for
does.
her.
Yeah.
But it's just constant that he's like,
She shouldn't get married. Hey, ex-sister-in-law, if you're listening to this, don't do it. Don't
Good
do it. Oh, don't get the state involved in your personal relationship and the contracts.
but the part where he's like, here's what I could do, you bitch. I'm trying not to do this, you bitch. Look at all the things you've done, and I have documentation of it, you bitch.
Okay, well, and let's just be clear. We're talking about a 15-year-old boy here who has not been going to his dad's regularly. I've been pretty open with that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be my fault. That's what he's
everything
telling me. It's going to be I'm custodial interference. We won't talk about the fact that at 15-year-old's little sister's 5th grade graduation, I was not there. I was out of town. My ex-husband went in, number one, whacked my son's hand away and then went to do like a fake headbutt towards him. So I'm sorry, that happened at a public space at a graduation. My son was getting in between my father and my ex-husband because my ex-husband had come over and was being physically aggressive towards my mother, grandma. Like, this shit, you guys, is real. So then my son gets in between and gets his hand whacked away, and then his dad goes to like give him like a fake headbutt. What are you gonna do?
How do you know it's fake though? You know, how would any?
You don't.
Right,
as a
that's
kid,
the point.
you don't.
Well, even as an adult, if someone was coming at me as if they were going to headbutt me, there is nothing in me that is to say that's not real.
Yeah. And then also, okay, so then my son really didn't go there this summer on his weekends. He did go for the vacation. And then upon returning back, my ex-husband can't get my son to school on Friday mornings. It's a standing issue because of the way the school starts. And we have kids at different schools.
No. The standing issue is that your ex-husband is unable to plan for these things. It's not
absolutely.
any issue with the school schedule.
No, you are.
It is
The way I'm
something-
framing that is defending him.
You are able to do it.
I am able to do
Also,
it.
your kid is not 2. Your kid is not 10.
No.
Not even 12. There is solutions that he can put in
Yep.
place to effectively get kids to school. And he cannot, because he chooses not to problem solve around that. He chooses to let it be someone else's problem because he knows Jenny Lynn will always step up.
Well, and that's the thing. So Thursday nights are my ex-husband's standing nights every week. He gets Wednesday night and Thursday night
And he should
every
be there.
single week. And he should be there. Yet he cannot get this child to school on Friday mornings. And it has been an issue.
Which causes anxiety for any
Tons.
kid.
And my son is not doing well in school now. And so,
How can you go to sleep on Thursday night if you are like, Friday morning is going to be conflict?
yeah. And well, the issue causing my son stress is that he has said to his dad, well, let me just stay at mom's. And the response is absolutely not. Well, turns out he's 15 and he has 2 legs. So,
And only a half a mile of a walk.
and so he has been coming to my house and staying at my house. And there was an incident that happened at the beginning of the school year where apparently my ex-husband was standing in front of the door being like, you'll need to get through me. So whether or not this
You'll
is
need to
my
get
fault
through me.
will be determined by a commissioner at some point or a judge at some point. And if my son ran away from home tomorrow, nobody would even look for him except for me.
Right.
Let me just be clear. The police wouldn't send out a search team. There would not be an alert, an Amber Alert would not be issued for my 15-year-old son. If my son was on the street in Seattle, nobody would blink twice to save him. Yet this is my fault. The fact that he doesn't want to be at his dad's.
Right.
And we're talking about the things in the last 6 months, okay? I'm not talking about anything before the last few months. Yet, I think after 7 years of this, I've resolved to the fact if the court is going to hold me in contempt or find me in custodial interference, I need to do what's best for my kid.
You're going to be wrong in either way.
Yeah, I'm going to do what's best for my kid.
And that's what I keep feeling like when we talk about this a lot in the last episode, the public apology episode. That's where I'm consistently put too, is I need to do what I feel is best for my kids, regardless of what's going to happen, because no decision seems to be right. They all seem to be wrong. But I want to take a step back really quick because I want the listener to hear this. You have a mom that is smaller in stature, a 15-year-old boy that is also not big, doesn't have all the testosterone that he needs to be fully formed, and
he's a teenager.
he's not the high school linebacker. He is not a match for an over 6 foot tall man that is standing at a doorway and looking at you and saying, not with these words, but you want to make it to school? You care about your education? Fucking get through me to care about your education. You're not going to your mom's house because she'll get to you to school on time. So this 15-year-old kid has a physical barrier who has watched, pretend headbutt him, swatted his hand away, was physically aggressive towards this 15-year-old's grandmother and grandfather in a school setting. And now this kid is saying, I just want to be able to get to school on a Friday morning without conflict because I'm already struggling and this is a topic of conversation in both of my houses. And someone is supposed to love me and care for me is physically standing that is nearly the same height as the fucking front door and telling me no.
Yeah, and let's not even begin to touch the idea that these 3 kids have lived through hell. They have been literally in the middle of my ex-husband coming at me in a car.
Yeah.
Threatening me, threatening private investigators, threatening to sit in front of my house and record whoever's going out as my children in the car. So these are things that happen directly towards him.
Right.
We're not even touching the secondary effects of domestic violence in a home.
Right.
And how that affects children.
This isn't acute.
This
wasn't one attempted headbutt in a public setting. This is years and years and years of this child who's growing up with all of his hormones, feeling himself get physically
watching
larger.
his mom being put in a position with his father, right? And now experiencing firsthand how those things directly impact
The level
you.
of threat.
Yeah.
So he finally feels as if he's big enough, strong enough, and tall enough that he could stand in between his father and his grandparents, which should never be necessary.
Well, and my ex-husband has, because I wrote this in a message to him, that this is, according to a lot of people, this is what happened. And he adamantly denies it.
Right.
That is not what happened. He doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Of course you don't.
So he said, she said, to that extent. The bottom line is, right or wrong, I don't have control over any of this. I don't have control over whether or not this fight happened here, or physically intimidating people, or giving the impression he's going to act out aggressively in a way that's dangerous. And I don't have control over any of that. Yeah, I will be put in a position to defend myself because I'm primary parent and kid's not going to other parents' house. And I had someone tell me recently that they were back in court over their 16-year-old daughter.
Right.
16. And she was having lots of issues in and out of some help centers. Mm-hmm. And dad took mom to court.
Yeah.
Saying daughter needs to resume visits.
Well, and you keep saying like attempted or like, what did you say? Intimidating.
Yeah.
There is no reason for any one of the people involved in your life to not think that any act that is potentially meant to be intimidating is not actually acting on that.
My ex-husband isn't allowed in Canada. He has an assault charge on his record that he pled no contest to.
Yeah.
Talk about not being able to take accountability for something.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
He punched someone in the face. And I'm not saying he should have pled guilty, but he's not allowed in Canada now.
Right.
So that's the kind of person that is.
You also had restraining orders against him for his threats of physical violence, many of them. And then they retrieved firearms from his house. So I don't understand the same way that you think when you hear me talk, like, why are you being nice to someone's mean to you? I'm like, why are you calling that an attempted headbutt?
Yeah.
How were your parents not actually in physical danger when he was coming after them like that?
Yeah.
How have you not been? Because every action that he's ever engaged in.
Well,
and he also told you that your youngest child has no reason to be fearful when you asked him nicely, I'll add, to not hover over the top of her at soccer.
Yeah.
And he was like, why would she be scared of that?
Did I ask nicely? Did I say please and thank you though?
You don't have to say please and thank you for it to be nice.
I wasn't like, get the fuck away from me though. I was like, don't come behind me during a soccer game.
And we talked about that in another episode, but it's the same way that I protect my ex-homer when I'm like, but he wouldn't do that to me. He wouldn't say that to me. He doesn't mean that.
Speaking of protect though, does someone feel like they're in need of protection from you?
Yeah, I'm terrifying.
So right after your 3-motion court hearing, immediately, a few hours later.
Lost.
Loser. Immediately, you got served with paperwork for a protection order, not from ex-husband, but from his new wife/ex-wife. Estranged wife. She did call herself estranged.
She did say we are
in the
estranged.
hearing. Yeah. Tell us about that, Jenn.
Let me tell you about the relationship that I have with her.
Okay.
So in 2018, when I was still married, my ex-homer sent me nude photographs of her and a few other women that he was sleeping with. I am making an assumption here that it was to make me jealous. Not sure.
This is not uncommon. I'm going to say my 12-year-old daughter, there's a little boy in her class that sent her pictures of him holding hands with another girl on the couch.
Snuggling with her.
And she's like, why would he send this to me? I was like, to make you jealous?
Right. Good fucking question. Which
is funny because when the judge was hearing your case, the judge was like not getting it.
No.
And I'm like, wait, you don't get why men do this? This
right.
is men 101. It starts when they're 12. Go ahead.
I tried to find all of the women that he sent it to me to tell them there is someone sending nude photographs of you to people. You should know this. I had nude photographs sent around of me in high school. They were really good. So
yeah, I mean, these titties, they're going to look great.
Forward. Okay, I don't look like that anymore.
Which nude photo are you sending of me? Did I look good?
But I remember it being really scary.
Absolutely. This effect on people's mental health is real. People kill themselves over stuff like this. And not just like being sent around of you. Posted on Reddit, posted on forums, posted on, what was the big one? It was probably before your time because I'm 10 years older than you. But it was, there was like a website where you could go and like
E-Bombs World.
But yeah, there's places, platforms where you can go and post pictures of your ex-spouse or partner and humiliate them publicly.
So in this time, my ex-husband had been posting pictures of himself nude on the internet. And
in 2018?
2017, 2018, we're still together. So everybody has their thing that they're like really weird about, like something that really bothers them in homes that is irrational to others. Mine is games. Don't misplace a piece of a game. Don't bend the cards. Like, treat games with respect. It ruins it for everybody if you lose pieces. So I hosted a lot of game nights in my house when we lived overseas.
And you always have games around.
Yeah, and so I had all the kids, all the parents. I was the fun house. And so yeah, I'm not anymore. Now I'm the restraining order house. Kidding. So my Cards Against Humanity game, the original, there was one flap of it. You know, it's like the rectangular box, and there was a flap of it that was broken. You could like dangle it like a little dingalingy. And so I couldn't quite figure out what was wrong.
Hint of what's to come.
Yeah, I was irritated by this because I'm like, the children were too small. So I was like, what are they pulling games out? And they grabbed it and that ripped. It's irritating, but just confused by it. It didn't affect the functionality of the game. Didn't do anything other than aesthetically it was annoying me.
Okay.
And so my ex-husband had a lot of email addresses for all of his different dating apps.
Affairs.
All of his different dating apps, which I had found. So I was starting to go look up these different email addresses I used, and I was putting them into different apps like Facebook, see if I can find them. You used to be able to search people's emails on Facebook and Instagram and all that.
Can you not anymore?
I don't think it works like that anymore.
You would know.
Yep. You can't. That confirmed. I just wanted to sound like I didn't really know. Wasn't sure. So I did this on Reddit, and I put in one of his email addresses, and up pops all these subreddits, all these threads where people posted not quite nude, but mostly nude pictures. And there was pictures of my ex-husband, like standing in the mirror and totally naked.
With his face?
Yeah. He was covering his penis with my Cards Against Humanity game, which is how my box ripped.
You're not use the word penis. It makes me uncomfortable.
Dick.
His junk?
Eggplant.
I would call it his junk, because you know what? I think that's junk. If it ripped that box, like,
no, he's
what
holding
is
with his
he
hand.
hacking there?
Cards Against Humanity.
So it wasn't like he was like hanging off with arms behind the head.
No.
It was he was holding it over.
Yeah.
He's probably just using it inappropriately. And
Yeah. Rubbing his junk all over it.
Did you play with that box in different ways after that?
No, and I still have it.
Shut it, Jen.
I love that game.
But the box?
No one will play with me. I'm not going to put
I'm
it in
not
plastic
playing with
baggage.
you.
I'm going to bring it over. Okay, so not only did I receive these pictures of people, I also knew that he was posting pictures outwardly on the internet. So I felt really compelled to make sure that these people that he was sending me pictures of knew.
Right. Well, because if you're doing that for yourself, there's a lot of opportunity to do that to someone else, to
Clearly,
post pictures of
he didn't
someone
give
else.
a fuck at this time.
Exactly.
And he was not doing great at this time.
Ex-husband. When
Yeah.
has he been doing great? But go ahead.
Really good question.
Yeah.
A great Wolf Lodge, sushi dinner, skiing. I think those are places he's been doing good.
He does great when he's standing next to you.
Yeah.
It is what the judge in your protection order hearing was basically implying, was that like,
I'm just jealous.
you guys are just fighting over a man.
And absolutely not. It's not like that at all. And I think if I heard it, I would feel like that. Like she
just talking about it
wants him. And I don't. I know.
It doesn't seem like you just want him to me. And it's because you know so much about it. What it seems like to me is that he likes pitting women against women. He likes the fact that women are squabbling
over
and
him.
Not even say over him, but he's in the middle.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of this woman's squabble.
So
ex-wife.
Estranged wife. They're
Estranged
married.
wife.
So not ex.
Okay.
I offered to take her to coffee. I offered to take her to dinner.
In a text message.
I told her, the kids really enjoyed being at your house. I'd love to get to know you a little bit.
So back in 2018, though, you did reach out to her and say, hey, just so you know, this guy you're seeing who happens to be my husband sent me these nudes of you. You should be careful.
Yeah, I did. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly
you should.
that.
Just be careful who you send your naked pictures to.
Right.
Don't trust this person with your personal
effects. So
that was
forward,
like the last contact you guys. You didn't send 20 messages.
They weren't even together. No.
You sent 1, 2.
About the pictures?
Yeah.
I think 1. And then she
Okay.
walked. So
fast forward now 8 years.
and
now
they
they're
start dating. They tell everybody that they've been together since 2018, which is hilarious
because he lived with another woman and was dating another one for 3 years in between here.
Yeah, there's just a lot to it. So then he started taking my kids over to new estranged wife's house immediately. So she came to my house for drop off at one point, and my ex-husband told me on his way, he said,
New estranged wife will be in the car.
yeah. And so I thought that was like you can come out and say hi
later.
thing.
Yeah.
As otherwise I don't go outside. So I come outside and I look like a fucking buffoon. I'm waving, smiling, and she cuts her eyes, looks in a different direction.
Yeah.
Clearly, that was not the intended goal of the drop off. There was nothing about that where it was an invitation to say hello.
Right. But
My fault.
But you followed up with a message, a text message, and like, hey, we'd love to meet for coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're clearly in my kids' lives.
And
Let's be able to co-parent. If you're going to be partnered with my ex-husband and my kids are going to be there, let's have an open line of communication. And she responded, and she did agree, but only after telling you violated her boundary by...
yeah. So she finally agreed. And then
But she said you violated her boundary by getting her number. Like, how'd you get my number? This is a boundary for me. And
Right.
you're like, your number is on all of my kids' iPads, number one.
that I didn't provide.
Right? And I'm sorry, if the expectation is that your life be kept completely separate from bio mom,
Don't have kids at your house.
don't be with dad. I don't think that's a reasonable expectation.
No, not at all.
So any investigation is going to happen. You know what the GAL is going to want? The names and contact information for everybody living in that house.
Right. It's wild.
Stupid.
So when I found out that her and ex-husband, my ex-homer, were estranged, I found out from people I don't know coming to me telling me that they're really worried about his mental state.
Yeah, because he was making some statements.
Very serious statement.
Yeah.
I don't want any of these things. I go to him directly. I won't put this in a text message either. I've only said it to him out loud. Hey, what's going on with you? This is what I'm hearing. What can I do?
Yeah.
So I'm getting these messages. So I reach out to her.
Right.
And
As kind of like a soft feel. Like, hey, I hear
Well,
what's going on. I hear
and I
there's
heard
another
that
woman involved.
he started seeing this woman. So I reached out to her and said, hey, I'm really sorry. I heard about this woman. I've been there. I know how it feels. I'm thinking of you.
That is literally what her message said too. Hoping to open the door to be like, hey, this is serious. He's saying some serious things.
And
she
that
doesn't
sucks.
respond to that message though.
And I don't say anything else after that.
Yeah.
I don't. I was accused otherwise in court, but whatever. So I'm getting messages from more people about my ex-husband, and it leaves me serious cause for concern. But I also was like, I'm not going to send her another message because I don't want to give her reason to file for a protection
But
order.
it's not like you've sent a lot of messages.
No.
I think you sent 4 total from the beginning of the relationship. Like, hey, we should meet for coffee. She responded. You sent a message about the bra. She responded.
All messages that we've exchanged besides the last 2.
Right. Like, and not a lot of back and forth, but kind of
No.
enough. You reached out to her and was like, mom to mom, are my kids there? Is there
Yeah.
a new address? And she was like, ask the attorney. So it's not like there was just like a stream of messages from you.
Right. And I'm not being threatening. I'm not being mean.
You're not being like, I'm going to kick your ass. This is it. He's mine, bitch. Back up.
Gross. I can't even imagine. So I get served with this protection order
From her.
Yeah. New wife, parentheses, estranged. So we get to the hearing and she claims that I told her that I was going to be disseminating her nude photographs. Never
Did
happened.
she write that in the declaration?
Uh-huh.
That 7 years ago you said that.
Yeah. What she didn't provide was a Facebook message, and she could easily get the message and have the actual verbiage of what I said where I threatened to disseminate those, because that didn't happen. Absolutely
And
not.
let me just say this, even if it did, we're talking about something that happened 7 years ago at this point. So let's get to the recent things that are making you feel like now, 7 years later, you need a protection order against me.
Yeah. So I've also
Bio mom, stepmom,
been around her at soccer games where I've not had any interaction with her.
your kids' soccer games.
Yeah.
Not her kids' soccer games. You're not showing up at her kids' soccer
and she lives
games.
2 hours from me. So I don't know what you're protecting. I'm not getting off my couch because guess what? I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. I'm having trouble working. All the things that she claimed in her protection order. Guess what's happening to me right now?
Well, and that was the ironic part, is that she attached a bunch of text messages that were innocuous. Nothing was threatening.
Basically
And-
what we just said.
Yeah, and her whole entire argument was that, it became apparent very quickly that she is very upset about this podcast. And we've never named her. The only person
No, and I wouldn't.
that has named her is her. The only person in any kind of public way that has drawn any direct line from this podcast to her is her. Because, hey, it's not about you.
Right.
You could be anybody. It doesn't matter to us who the other person is over there. It doesn't matter to us who the ex-husband is.
Yep.
We are everybody. You are everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. So if you want to publicly be like, this is about me, then that's on you, because it's not about you. And
It's really not.
No. And it's so crazy to me too, because as women, the automatic blame is to the other woman. And if things that are being said by us on here, basically painting a picture for the listener of this other woman, how do you think any of that information was brought to us?
Right.
We're not looking.
Right.
It's your husband, now estranged husband, who has told all of us and basically anybody who will listen,
anybody,
everything personal about his situation.
Yeah.
So that's between them. That's not between us. But the reality is this is the system we're functioning in. And if you can't talk about the problem, then how does that problem look?
Okay. And so we've heard from friends that we have mutual friends. He tells us how much money she makes. That's all he ever says.
Your ex-husband.
Uh-huh. And she claimed at the hearing for the protection order that I go around talking about her financial situation.
Well, and let's be clear, he moved out from ex-girlfriend's house, who he lived with, dated for 3 years. She lives in a beautiful home, to apparently his mom's for a few months, and then moved in. He's looking for a home, and then moved in with this new fiance, new wife, now estranged ex-wife. So that's what's clear, is that his motivation is financial.
Yeah. One of the messages that I get from this person that I do not know that's concerned about his mental state, and actually he led her to this podcast. She listened and then wanted to check on me. She said, every time ex-Homer has ever met a girl, the first thing he does is talk about how much money she makes. It is sad to watch his downfall, because I know at heart he could be a great person, but never a great husband or partner. I truly believe he wants to be a good dad. He's just too stupid and gets in his own way.
I want to say something real quick. In addition to that message, which you're not going to read, is this person stated specifically that there are some very real reasons to be worried for his mental health. And these court situations are extremely stressful.
For both people. Moving
Yes.
party and responding party.
Yes. And I will say, when I went through this, it was very, very hard for me.
Yep. Yep. It is a hard topic to talk about.
We're talking about a lot of things having to do with court and mental health, including suicide. If these topics are triggering to you, scroll on.
If you or someone that you know are dealing with thoughts of suicide or other mental health issues that you would like to receive help for very quickly, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is 988, or you can text 988 also. We understand that life's challenges can sometimes be really difficult. Whether you're facing mental health struggles, emotional distress, alcohol or drug use concerns, or just need someone to talk to, the people at 988 are there to care for you. I have lost several people to suicide, one of them being my sister's husband.
Yeah, it happened. And they have 3 kids, and it is devastating.
Yep. It is a hard topic to talk about. It's also at the risk of it being used against you. But it's very real. And we see men and women all the time taking their lives over custodial issues. It is a very serious issue.
Because the judge did say, well, I understand you're talking about your intentions and them being noble and out of concern. I think the harm to her, to ex-wife, outweighs your noble intentions, even though we're talking about the father of your kids. So that's what the judge is there for, is to make those calls about weighing people's concerns.
And so now I'm receiving these messages. I'm hearing these things. I'm genuinely concerned. I don't want any of these things. I go to him directly. Hey, what's going on with you? This is what I'm hearing. What can I do?
Yeah.
I'm bringing them to the people that should care about him the most. And I'm the problem.
Yeah. So I sat there with Jenn during this hearing for the protection order. Like we were saying before, it was filed 2 hours after her court hearing on the 3 motions was done. And the judge specifically crossed out the line about the podcast.
Stamp.
And then this restraining order was filed, and it became very clear to us very quickly during the oral argument that the podcast was her main concern.
She's not scared of me.
No.
We've been around each other in public spaces many times. I've never done anything to cause that level of concern. This is her first step against the podcast.
Yeah. And I've talked about this a little bit, how a protection order is a way around it in some ways.
Yeah.
And she made it clear she didn't want to prevent our free speech.
She got that from my oral argument on our last hearing.
Right. And she did submit a lot of pages of exhibits. How many pages?
Afterwards. I didn't even get them. Found out about them on the hearing. I don't know how many pages. 20-ish.
20-ish pages
about the podcast.
Yes, about the podcast. Like I said, no one is tying that direct link except for this person.
Well, and she says in there specifically that names are not used, no identifying information is used. Let me actually find it.
Her biggest concern, though, about the podcast is that she feels that we are painting her as a bad mom and in an unfavorable light. And I mean, welcome to the circus.
What do you think?
What do you think you're doing? Yeah, what do you think everyone's doing to Jenn? What do you think everyone's doing to me? And I'm going to break it to you. You're no different than us.
Right.
Yeah. You know what sucks? It sucks to be a mom and to be painted like things are all your fault.
Right.
And it's not your fault. When there was a conflict about the kids that came up regarding bra shopping,
right.
Jenn went to her ex-husband. That's who she went to first.
Yep.
Number one. And if you don't want to be involved with someone else's kids, don't date someone with kids.
Right.
That's the bottom line. But if your entire argument is that speaking out about this is detrimental to your mental health and your work performance, what do you think it's doing to her?
Right. She claimed that she's having trouble working.
Yeah.
What about me?
How many days have you had to take off?
I think 14, and I've used every bit of my PTO.
And legitimately, and I've had other people say this, I don't think that it's painting anyone as a bad parent, including our ex-spouses. Are we talking about a systematic issue that is happening? Yes. Are we up here being like, that makes them a bad dad? No. No.
And I know nothing about her relationship with her own children at all. I don't know whether she's the best mom in the world, the worst mom in the world.
I'm sure she's a great mom. And it's funny because we just put out Weaponized Stepmommy.
Could it be you?
Could it be you? And Jenn, you don't assign ill intention at all. And when I was listening back to that, I was like, you're so fucking nice.
I think that to become a weaponized stepmom, it only comes from a place of love to begin with.
Yeah.
The only time that I think it would come from like a place of hate or something is if maybe you're from the same hometown and you grew up around each other or something.
I'm sure there's other situations too.
Yeah, but
people are.
With my ex-husband's ex-girlfriend, he told her all of these things about my mental health, and then she chose to get to know me anyways. And then that kind of put an end to that. And then we were able to have a functioning co-parenting relationship between the three of us, really, for as long as the relationship lasted. So what I told him in person at Great Wolf Lodge, when the kids were not present, I said, I think that you did the same thing with your new wife. I think you tried to paint me to be this person because it feels like a way to explain why you don't have your kids very often.
Yeah.
And now she's ran with it. And he was like, maybe that kind of happened.
Yeah. And here's the situation is you're either going to be honest about your relationship with your kids, why it is what it is, or you're going to blame someone else for that relationship.
Oh, and if I were him, I don't know if I'd be honest.
So the option's easy. I don't think a conscious choice.
No.
I think it just happens. This isn't my fault. This is her fault. This would be different if it wasn't for her. She's crazy. She did this. She's doing that. She's a witch. Burn her.
And it's super easy to paint that picture because women often think that of women.
Absolutely.
So the commissioner believed that. She believed that.
Yeah.
The judge in the protection order.
Well, the judge in the protection order framed the case. Okay. So we were in the virtual hearing room and there was a case before Jenn's case. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to get kind of a drift on his approach.
Same. I was feeling real confident.
Well, it was interesting because the case before ours, it was two brothers and one of the brothers had a kid. And so they were both arguing their side of the case of why this protection order should or shouldn't be granted. One brother was filing it against another brother. And when the judge was giving his ruling, he commended the brother with the kid for being a single dad and how hard that must be being a single dad. And that takes a lot to step up.
And how the other brother should be kind and recognize how hard the brother.
Yeah. And so apparently that only applies to men, just so we all are clear, because when Jenn's case came up, there was no acknowledgement that she is a single mom of not one, not two, but three children.
Step right up.
Yeah. And he framed the case before he started and talked about the documents that were filed and said, it looks like we have an ex-wife here who is stirring the pot or, you know, and I was like, it's
really on brand.
It's really on brand, number one. But it's stirring the cauldron.
Yeah, it's actually a cauldron.
But it was interesting to me because it's not like she had 30 messages that you've sent or a single message that was threatening or abrasive or nothing, zero. And I told Jen, it was a very soft ruling is what I'll say.
It was, but I am super involved with my kids. I do a lot of volunteer work through my job, like that's actually required through my job where I teach at tier 1 schools. And now I have to check a box that there's a restraining order.
Is there a box?
Yeah. And I work with children at ski school.
Yeah.
So I will
there
have
might be
to,
a box.
There is a box.
Yeah. And it was interesting too because he put very light, he called it a cooling off period of staying away from each other is what he called it.
Yeah, I'm like, she lives hours away. I'm not going near her.
Right. And kind of acknowledged it was like a heated family situation. And Jen was asking for some clarification on things, specifically, the only place she has seen this woman is soccer games. Mm-hmm. And so the judge specifically carved out a thing that was like any sporting event for Jen's children, Jen's allowed to be at. So in essence, and this was my question even going into this hearing, if you get this restraining order that you are now so loudly asking about, how does that look for you? If you're trying to build a blended family, if you're trying to get all these kids to now be step siblings and rebuild a life with this new man, how does that play out in actuality? Because now, ex-wife, estranged wife, what does it say?
She's allowed, we just can't communicate. It says, and I'll also add that in her document that she provided, she said that in one of them, I encouraged my ex-husband to lie to her kid, which is true about a hockey game. You'll have to go back and listen to that episode. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Which is true. But they got married and kept it from the kids. I found out through one of my ex-husband's friends, but my children found out from grandma. They were at grandma's house and they heard her talking on the phone. So then my kids told me they went to new step sibling and were like, did you know that our parents are married? And that she was screaming at the top of her lungs. You're lying.
Stepchild was?
Yeah, you're lying. You're lying. That's not true.
Stepchild
That's not
thought
lying.
that step sibling was lying, not that her mother would be lying to her face about something so big like getting married.
Right.
Well,
these kids are all going to be thinking about this in 20 years.
Yeah, welcome.
And it's crazy to me to think that what they're doing is okay, but I'm the devil here.
Yeah, so
I'm
what
making breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What does the actual order say? So it doesn't restrict her from going to the kids' games. It just says that you personally are allowed to be anywhere where your kids are when it comes to any kind of sporting events.
When I'm coaching and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, exception. Respondent. Me, I'm respondent in everything. I'm responding to everything all the time and losing. May continue to coach sports team for her own children unless the league or host organization determines she may not. If petitioner comes to watch her stepchildren's sporting events, respondent is not required to leave but may not have any contact with petitioner. Surprise, I've never had contact with her.
Right. It is ironic.
It's about the podcast. And I don't know if she thinks that she's being sly about it, but
no, she wasn't sly about it because she was very point blank about it during the hearing.
No, I mean, I wonder if she thinks that we're like aloof.
Oh, there's no way we could be aloof because she spent 5 minutes asking the judge to specifically take it down or to have the parts were restricted from talking, quote unquote, about her, not about you.
A person.
You could be anyone.
Situation. Yeah.
Funny because this is the second time someone has asked us to remove.
That's cute.
Demanded we remove the podcast and we wouldn't have anything to say.
Right.
How about
leave me alone?
How about why file a restraining order against someone? Why draw that direct line for anybody out there? So this is bizarre to me. And this, we'll see what happens from here. And if you want to draw that direct line even louder and bolder, the only thing you're doing is drawing more attention.
Yeah. If you think it's about you, then you're then exposing things that we're not
exposing about you. Yeah.
Okay, exception. Kids came home and they're like, Mom, her haircut.
You know what, though? It's so common that when you're going through a really stressful situation,
you do something to your hair.
But it's just hair. It grows. And I said before, I think you're in a way better position than Jenn here was because she had 3 kids with this ex-husband. New husband to you. You don't want to be ordered to pay alimony. And that's up to you. If you have all the information in front of you and you feel like you're different, none of us are different.
If you're going to be the magical person that gets him to stop.
It's like we're not going to be the magical women who get the court system to change.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Have a blast. Try.
Yeah. What's not the worst thing that happened to you this week, Jenn?
Not the worst thing that's happened to me this week is that because of my ankle injury that happened 2.5 months ago. My knee has been overcompensating for it, and now my knee is starting to hurt.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's not the worst thing that happened, but I have to lift weights. I have to ski. I have to play soccer. I have to do all these things for my mental health because I'm going through hell.
Yeah.
What about you? What's not the worst thing that happened to you this week, Jenny Lynn?
Not the worst thing that happened to me this week is my son is not doing very well in school. So someone help me, seriously. I tried punishing, right? I tried taking away his phone and everything last year. There was a big fallout from some of that stuff. I decided that wasn't worth it, actually, especially with two divided homes, two homes that don't get along.
Yeah.
So my attempt now is to try and reward the situation. I specifically said, if at the first of the month, he's 15, he likes to get on 9 bikes and scoot around and all the things. The first of the month comes along, you need to send me a screenshot of your grades. If you have all A's, I'll give you $60 every month. And I don't give him allowance. And so, I hand him money for this or that. And I want to teach him how to handle money. We've tried allowance before. I won't get into it. So I told him at the first of the month, all A's, $60, A's and B's, $40. Anything else on that report card, it's $0. It's an all or nothing situation. And so I was asking him. I asked him 4 times for his screenshot of his grades and he wouldn't give it to me. And so yesterday he asked me for an extension, and I shouldn't be asking him over and over for his grades. He should just be sending it to me if he wants the money. And I should assume if I'm not getting the screenshot around the first of the month or before the first of the month, that it's not all A's and B's. Mm-hmm. But I am trying to teach him how to communicate through problems and take accountability and address things as they come up. And that's the conversation that we had was, I can't be asking you over and over. I'll ask you once. And if you don't respond to me with a screenshot or asking me for a reasonable extension for some reason or another, then I'm going to turn your phone off. Mm-hmm. That's what I told him.
Yeah.
I was like, and I don't know for how long, but you need to learn to address a problem head on and find a solution or a compromise to a solution. So this is part of life. You're going to have a job one day. You're going to be working one day. So if there could be a page in the parenting book that tells me how to deal with this, point me to it because I'm not optimistic this is going to work.
Will you reward me?
Fuck, I reward you every day.
I know, but for grades?
Hell yeah.
I'm trying really hard. Okay.
So what's your week in hell, Jen?
So in and of itself isn't hell, but it feels like hell for a second. So in this new temporary parenting plan that we have, it is written in there that I am to make sure that I get my oldest daughter to reconciliation therapy every week.
Okay.
Barring a serious medical emergency is what's written in there. So
the flu?
I'm fearful. Yeah.
She has the flu.
Well, I'm fearful around this. Anything has been weaponized against me, even if I have had reasonable conversations with my ex-husband.
Yeah.
So he knows that she has the flu, but it is like really bad, and they have an appointment today.
Oh, you need to send an email to both his attorney and him.
Well, I had him change it.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it took a little while for him to do it and for him to respond.
Yeah, and you were just anxious about it.
Right. And guess who has been getting her there every time? Me.
You.
Guess who hasn't always made the appointments? Him. So why am I being held to a standard that he's not even being held to? Anyway, he got it rescheduled. I don't think that on its face he would ever use that against me, but if that made it to his attorney, he and his attorney would agree to use that against me.
Absolutely be used against you.
Right, because the flu is not a serious medical emergency. However, I am not willing.
It's highly contagious. Right, that therapist doesn't want the flu.
Right, I'm not giving that to her elderly therapist or the kids that go to that office. There's a lot of kids in it. It's not a fair thing to do to people. She can hardly talk. And, I was
Would you rather pay $2,500 in contempt or spread the flu?
Right.
Spread the fucking flu.
And so I was willing to, if he didn't get back to me and change it.
Yeah.
I was willing to take her.
Yeah. And that's the crappy situation you're being put in. You're like locking the door behind her, pushing her, driving her around with the flu.
And yelling at her to get the hell out of my car.
This is what's best for the kids.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
What's your week in hell, Jenny Lynn?
Yeah, knowing that speaking out about a problem is the problem. Not knowing, but that idea being like floated around.
Yeah.
Is not sitting well with me. And it's not going to go away. And I know anytime you publicly put something out there, it's worth it to me. Mm-hmm. This is all worth it to me. Once again, even if nothing changes in the system, at least women will hear. And I've had so many people come up and tell me, I sent this to my friend who's going through this. My coworker's going through this. My boss is going through this.
Right.
Or my husband went through this as a child. This is providing like a whole nother level of understanding.
Yep.
So I stand firmly in my belief that it's worth it.
This is necessary.
It's so necessary.
No one else is doing it for this reason.
Exactly. And there is a facade right now that people operate in is if you go to court, they're going to listen to you.
Right. Nope.
Yeah, they're not.
They don't care.
They're not. Unless he's snorting cocaine off of your baby's butt
During a diaper change.
Epstein files situation. They're probably not going to say much.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
right.
it for this week in hell. See you next week. See you over the fence.
See you over the fence.
Bye.